We'll see if he is hypothermic.
I'm just gonna take you guys with me on the inaugural camping trip. Oh God, it's getting cold, man. Sick of deer steak, asparagus, mashed potatoes.
I'm excited to watch the video.
You wouldn't want to go though, huh? So I'll give you guys a little walk around. This is a boat that's made by Pelican. It's basically a Coleman Crawdad. I know there's a lot of people out there that are gonna remember a Coleman Crawdad. It's just plastic. I got it on Amazon for 799 bucks. Built this tent enclosure and it just lays on top of the boat and fits in the rod holders. There's no hardware, nothing holding it down except for the weight. I got a door with a screw or a window with a screen in it here. I have a solar panel for lights that are on the inside right there. I have folding doors that are scrounged out of a abandoned boat over there. A little folding canopy that I sewed up. This is my shallow water anchor. This thing slides and stores inside the piece of PVC pipe, which is structure for the tent itself. And anywhere I'm camping in this is going to be pretty shallow. That's kind of the point of this thing, is to be able to get anywhere. So I can just stick this in the ground and then use this slip knot, slide over it and pull it tight on the bow here. And that allows me to not have to carry a heavy anchor around and chain and all that kind of stuff. This boat is 12 feet long, I believe. And there's not much to it. It is made out of plastic and styrofoam. Not much of it. On the back, I have another little overhang here to hopefully keep the water out of the doors, and little folding doors like that, little wooden doors. Those were closet doors out of the abandoned boat that were way longer. I cut them all down and cut the frames out and cut the frames down to fit the door. And this is T111 turned inside out. I have my motor, and I actually put a kicker bracket on it so that I can lower it up and down even more and get into really shallow water, but it also just gives me a little more room back there while I'm running the boat, because this holds the motor off a little bit. And it's pretty tight back here. I mean, this is only about a 2-foot area. A lot of the doors, everything is just bungee. And when I was building this, everything has to be pretty lightweight and also multi-purpose. So for a fishing rod holder, I just stick the butt in there and then have another little strap to hold the fishing rod. I'll take you inside real quick before we get going, just to show you a little bit. I have my sleeping bag and a bedroll, basically a mattress. I actually don't need this one anymore because I have the other one. Every ounce counts. I got little lights, string lights. I have not tried these yet. They're solar, but I'm gonna try them tonight. Hopefully they work out. You can see that's T111 right there around the door frame. It's the same on the side behind us as well. Basically just built a PVC frame out of conduit and PVC. And then these are actually the corners out of plastic fence post coverings, like the 4x4 fence post coverings, to make little plastic angle, and screwed that down and bent it kind of like a Conestoga wagon. And then there's just a board here that kind of allows you to attach everything together. This PVC is part of the structure. You know, it wouldn't be home, right, without a soap holder, a little shelf that I robbed out of the boat. Oh, what do we have here? Toothbrush holder. Look at that. Figure you can just use that for whatever. They don't weigh much. And I cut down a little coat rack as well. So I'll wear this while I'm running. Got my flashlight, a couple fishing lures here. Under here, I have my storage. Also, I made this so it turns into a table. Fold those up, and then like that, turns into a little table. Under here, I have my water, I have a little power pack thing, and all the safety equipment, life jackets, lantern, my backpack, fire extinguisher, can of propane, all the kind of stuff that I would need to, and a little camp stove that's stowed up in there to camp and make dinner. I hope it works. I'm just gonna take you guys with me on the inaugural camping trip. Here's Lindsay.
I'm excited to watch the video.
Yeah, I bet you are. You wouldn't want to go though, huh?
Not really, it's gonna be cold and wet.
Yeah, it's gonna be 35 degrees and raining tonight.
Ooh, that's
And I have no heat. Should be good.
fun.
Yeah. All right, in the water, ready to go. That's a ridiculous looking thing. I'm actually kind of excited. I've not tested this thing really. I had it out, but I have not camped in it, so I think it's gonna be awesome. Tread lightly. I mean,
This is very tippy.
it's a little tippy.
What happened to your pontoons? I thought you were going to put pontoons on there.
I was gonna put pontoons on it, but
Just run out
I
of
didn't
time.
think of putting pontoons on it until the day I was supposed to use it, so I was not able to come up with a way to do that fast enough. No pontoons. We're gonna see if we really need them or not. It's definitely a little rocky.
I'll rock you right to sleep.
Something like that.
Nice booty shot right there.
Thanks.
If you could tie up to like a log that was down a down tree or something.
Yeah. All right, let's see if the motor will start. I can't ever tell if this thing has a sufficient amount of oil in it or it's too low, because every time you move the motor, it changes. It's got a little sight thing on the side. But... All right, well, I guess I'm off. All right, I have my little solar panel up here charging. Window open, door strapped. I'm ready to go. John's jealous, the other two are not. Going on our grand adventure. My food's in there. I've got to find something smaller, but it was in a rush, per usual. Everything's a little tippy. Oh my God. All right, well, we're off. And it's actually all right to sit down and steer, but I can't see anything on my peripherals. I can literally only see what's directly ahead of me. I hope this motor continues to run. That would be amazing. My biggest worry, which isn't like end of world worry, but the biggest bummer would be it pours down rain like it's supposed to, like they're calling for it to do. The canvas sealant doesn't hold, and I will be very wet, very, very cold. I don't have any heat. I'm gonna have to get creative here to figure out heat, but it's pretty peaceful. It's actually kind of nice this time of year. It's pretty late November, by the way. It's kind of nice this time of year because there's generally not a lot of people out on the water. So you kind of have free reign, which is nice. So I am headed way, way, way up into the back of one of these creeks. Around where I'm at, we have all these tributaries that lead into the bay. At the head of pretty much all of these tributaries is the actual creek. So like, you know, there's Rock Creek, Stony Creek, which are not a creek like you'd imagine in terms of rock bottom and, you know, clear water and really small. What we call a creek is actually a body of water like this. But if you go all the way to the very, very, very back of these creeks, you will find an actual small river or creek. But it's very hard to get to because it's so shallow. But in this rig, I'm hoping that that's not really a problem, that I can get into these really, really, really skinny spots away from everybody, kind of hidden in plain sight in a lot of ways. So that's where we're headed. It's gonna get dark here pretty soon, and I'd like to get in where I want to be and, you know, kind of set up before it's pitch black would be really nice. We're not going very fast in this rig, so I'm headed down, chugging along. Once I get to a certain spot, I think I'm actually gonna fish a little bit. I might troll a spoon with me a little bit, see if we can pick up a pickerel, or honestly even rockfish are in the creeks this time of year, so we might try to fish for a little bit if I can make a little bit of headway here. We're probably doing like 3 or 4 miles an hour. One of the things I really like about this little rig, and one of the reasons I made it, was because I don't have a ton of time all the time to like go places. You know, I love to camp and whatever, but there's a lot of spots around that are, like I said, hidden in plain sight that people do not know about, that are kind of hidden in the nooks and cracks of this area that are pretty easy to access by water, but you have to be able to get shallow. You can't take any boat much bigger than this at most of these places that I know about, so I just thought it'd be really cool to be able to get into some of these spots that are not easily accessible and kind of camp in areas nobody knows about. Right now, I'm really enjoying this. This is pretty cool. It took me about a week to build this thing from start to finish. And I started with zero plan, except for just an idea, so this is my first time really using the boat. This thing definitely seems to draw attention, but I understand. I don't blame him, because it's got to look really ridiculous going down the water. Looks like a little green Conestoga wagon on the water. It's got to look silly. I think it looks cool. Looks like something that you would have ordered out of like the Sears catalog or something, or LL Bean in like the 70s. It's very 70s, you know, like aluminum and green canvas, Army surplus. It's like something you bought at Sonny's Army Surplus on West Street. Probably doing 4 or 5 miles an hour right now. I hope I can stay warm tonight. I have lots of layers on and a nice sleeping bag, so I think I'll be all right. I slept in a duck blind in a snowstorm when it was like 10 degrees outside last year in a tarp, and I didn't die, so it was not fun at all. But I mean, it was fun. I had fun, but I don't know why I like doing stuff like that. It wasn't conventionally fun, and it was definitely freezing cold, but this is better than a tarp and a plywood box in a snowstorm in 10 degrees, so I think I'll be all right. I'm hungry. I'm excited to get something to eat. By that, I mean make something to eat. All right, I'm gonna do a little fishing, a troll along these piers here. Oh, smokes. Thing went forever. Slowly trolling, see if we could pick up some pickerel or something, but there's a lot of leaves in the water and I'm afraid my spoon is gonna get covered in leaves. It is a slick sheet of glass out here today. Call it a slicker. If I had more time, I'd have gone out to the bay and tried to catch a rockfish, but it gets dark so early right now, like 5 o'clock it's dark, and I didn't have a ton of time, so I didn't want to run all the way out there, especially in this questionably tippy rig, questionably stable rig with a questionably stable captain. So far, typical Luke video. No fish so far, but I'm hoping I can get to where I want because the tide is kind of low. And in tradition, I'm not going to check the tide chart. You guys have seen my other videos. You know that me and the tide, not always on the same schedule. And I have historically gotten myself stuck for days before from not checking the tide chart. So maybe I will check it. I don't know. We'll see. Holy cow, that's a very purple house. Wow, bold choice. So we are getting back here to where I want to be. As you can see, it is pretty in the cut. It's super shallow too. We're doing all right. I might move the motor up a peg though. Wow, we just got over a stump that's pretty shallow. We'll try to get up to that beach right there. I mean, so far, it's pretty good. So far, I'm pleased. We are very, very shallow. The motor's doing just fine. Sorry, I'm always looking for deer. I'm not deer hunting. I wish I was. This would be an awesome spot to deer hunt. It is nice though, very pretty, very shallow. We're still back here, so that's pretty cool. It's probably less than a foot deep. It's probably like 10 inches deep right here. We are at a high tide though. I want to find a spot to set up camp. I also got to remember that, oh yeah, look at this. See the mud we're kicking up? We are really, really, really shallow right now. The thing is that I'm picking up mud here now, and this is high tide. We're 20 minutes away from high tide. I don't want to set up anywhere too far back here because when the tide, in the morning, if the tide isn't in, I will be stuck, and that would not be good. Been there, done that, many a time. So I'm gonna go back out there a little bit, I think, and try to find a spot. Ooh, I'm in the mud right now. Ooh, hit a stick or a log or something. As much as I'd love to be as far back as I possibly can be, and as far away from, oh gosh, people and whatever as I can possibly be, I don't want to be stuck here for a whole nother day. The motor's still pissing clear, so we're in good shape. Cool spot back here though. It goes pretty far up in there. And the crazy thing about a lot of these creeks is that, you know, these large-ish tributaries started as freshwater creeks, like what I talked about earlier. And if you really know the bottom pretty well, I know this spot pretty well, you're gonna actually follow the original underwater creek bottom pretty much all the way. So there is technically a very deep, not very deep, but a deeper channel that goes all the way up in there. But in the wintertime, we get abnormally low tides, and even in that channel, I think at a low tide I would have trouble getting out. So I'm gonna try to find a spot a little further out here. I think I'm gonna go check this beach out. What the heck was that? It was like something under the water and I couldn't tell if it was moving or not. Let's go check it out. Actually a pretty sick little spot. Here's the boat. Now the decision I have to make is, do I want to keep the boat pulled up, even though this is as high as the tide's gonna go? Problem is, in the middle of the night, the water I think is gonna leave, and then I'll be sitting on the ground. I don't know, may anchor the boat off a little bit. Be a nice little spot to have a fire. You can see just barely these leaves and stuff. You watch, there's just a little bit of incoming current. So the tide is still incoming, but I think that's gonna end shortly. I've got to decide what I'm gonna do with the boat. I'm And that's not a pee bottle. I know it looks exactly like pee. It's gas. Spare gas for the motor in case I need it. How cool is that? Look at that. Pretty sweet. Couple options. I could leave the bow on land. That would help stabilize me. Or I may tie a rope to that stump, back the stern out and put the pole anchor down, or tie myself to this log and put the pole anchor down to keep me a little further out, but hopefully still stabilize me a little bit. I mean, this would be ideal. This would be really nice to just be here, but I am afraid that there's not gonna be enough water to get off of here tomorrow. All right, I think for right now, I'm going to switch my lines and put my longer line up here and tie it off, put the shallow water anchor off the stern and cleat it. And as I'm making dinner and doing whatever and hanging out, if I feel the tide is going out and I need to get further out, I will adjust. Crazy thing is the tide literally just started moving the other way as soon as I said something, like minutes after. Pretty wild. Let's see if my lights work. Look at that. That's nice. Trying to not track mud all through my little camper, but it is what it is. That's nice. I need a little jackalope mounted up here, a little European mount, or a shoulder mount of a little rabbit with antlers. All right, now I'm gonna try to flip this thing around. It's getting cold, man, and my toes are already cold. I did bring more socks. My toes are very cold. And this is a very tight little spot. Well, it's actually pretty cozy. The lights are kind of nice. I think I'm gonna make some dinner, get my bedroll out, and try to stay warm. It is very small in here. Very small, very tight. What I'm trying to do is not track mud through everything. It's not real easy. Guess I'm gonna make dinner. Trying to figure out how to do that in such a tight space. Do I wanna make it out there? Do I wanna make it in here? I'm gonna try to make it in here if possible. It'd be nice. Nice part about this time of year is that there's no bugs. Bugs always make camping way less fun, in my opinion. This other jacket on though, because it is getting cold. Look at this, got my phone charging, everything. Not so sure why my lights are flickering. When we go out, it's gonna be a bummer. Definitely gonna be a bummer. I'm so stinking thirsty. So one of the other things I did when I made this thing, oh no, it's starting to rain. You hear it? Better get my stuff inside then. Stick my shoes down in here. One of the things I did was make this so you could sit here and eat or do whatever, because it's not that fun to have your knees crammed into your freaking chin all the time. So when you have the table here, you can kind of sit almost like you're sitting, you know, on a chair. And the little balls in here, just as I said something about bugs. You can't fit a whole lot down here, but it's not so bad actually. Actually fit a fair amount. I tell you, when you're shooting videos, it makes it tough to pack light. Check, look at this. I stole my wife's. These are like cabin socks or something. That's nice. And when you're on a boat, you have to have so much safety equipment. All right, we got stove. I should have left this at home, but it ended up coming with me. I'm gonna sit on this. And this wouldn't usually bring probably, but I did not bring a pillow. And Lindsay had this blanket in her car, so I took it. Oh, that's nice. What are we gonna have for dinner? Have some options. I brought a few things. I need to figure out how to pack this a little lighter, but that's all right. I got some mashed potatoes. I have some of my own crab soup from the grocery store. You can get this online at Jimmy's Famous Seafood or at the grocery store. It's actually my favorite product that I have. We got crab cakes and crab chips and seasoning and all kinds of other stuff. But the soup, the crab chowder, is actually totally the unsung hero. Highly recommend. So I have some of my wife's tortilla soup. Oh, also, if you drop a comment on the video and subscribe, I'm sending out a whole box of all the food products I have every month. So all you gotta do to enter is that. Oh yes, I forgot about this. I got some asparagus. Then I put some olive oil, salt and pepper on. I have deer steak. This is a sika deer, which are like these itty bitty little deer. I just got one this year for the first time. And look how tiny the backstrap is. This is literally part of the backstrap. You can hold it in the palm of your hand. So I think I'm gonna have some asparagus and sika backstrap, mashed potatoes, and some soup for dinner. Maybe I'll just have the soup. Maybe I won't have the mashed potatoes. I don't know yet. Ice cold Coke. Some of my seasoning. You can get that on Amazon or Jimmy's or anywhere really. Grocery store. Get this. It's at Harris Teeter as well. It's starting to rain on and off. This is so awesome. I'm a happy camper right at this moment. This thing's pretty cool. I'm curious to see what these Sika steaks look like. This thing's so little. Oh my gosh, dude. That is hilariously itty bitty. That is a Sika deer backstrap. This is like probably 1/4 of the backstrap. It's so small. Holy crap. And still not 100% defrosted, so I'm going to put it in my pocket for a minute. Try to defrost it. This one cracks me up. It's so little. Look at it. These are deer that are little. I mean, there are a decent sized one. I mean, the one I shot, which is like average size, by the time it was gutted, probably weighed 40 pounds. They're little. They're tiny little Asian deer. We have them on the lower eastern shore of Maryland where I live here. They're like a native exotic, basically. They live in the most inhospitable stuff you've ever experienced in your whole life. Miserable marsh. They're extremely hard to kill. And I finally got one this year, so I was excited about that. Really good eating. Really good. Oh, this is really cool. Oh, that's boiling. This is actually heating it up in here. Ooh, that smells so good. Oh, I'm so hungry. I have boiling water, so we are gonna make mashed potatoes. Oh, it's so warm and nice. Holy cow. Need some butter in these mashed potatoes. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm actually gonna put some of this. This is like Old Bay garlic butter sauce. This is also Jimmy's stuff. I had this in the fridge and it's good on like everything, so I'm gonna put it on something. Turns out all I gotta do is run the camp stove for a minute, heat myself up in here, I guess. That is good and warm and nice. This is awesome. I'm loving this. My little camper boat, camping. This asparagus is pretty much done. All right, that is looking good. It's a little smoky in here, but that's all right. Come on, you little... I hate GoPros. I film everything with an iPhone, but when I do these kinds of things, I use GoPros for sometimes because they're durable and you can clip them onto stuff. But the battery, I'm telling you, I have the most expensive batteries you can buy. They never last. I'm not necessarily hating GoPro. I'm just saying that I literally always have trouble. Though my biggest beef is that the batteries die. They're no good in the dark and the audio is horrible. But you know, besides that, they're great. I'm gonna heat up soup and... Ooh. Forgot about my pocket full of deer. I was defrosting the deer in my pocket. Look at that little thing. Is it folded in half? That is the tiniest backstrap you've ever seen. That is so small. Don't even say it. Don't even say it. It's tube steak. All right, I'm gonna get the crab chowder going. This stuff, by the way, crab and corn chowder is all Maryland crab meat. People wanna say, oh no, it's not. Trust me, buddy. I know the margins on this stuff and it's not any good, because I use all Maryland crab meat. If I were to use some out of the country, Venezuelan, whatever crab meat from who knows where, I would make a lot more money on that, but I don't. All right, put some of my seasoning in there. Shameless plug, I'm sorry, but I got to. I got bills to pay over here, mouths to feed. There'll be like a link in the description, whatever, for this. And just find it on Amazon or wherever you want. Hirschbeck's, Green Valley, Giant, Whole Foods. So, I think Whole Foods has it, Harris Teeter has it, Amazon has it, Jimmy's website has it. It's around. If you want it, if you want it bad enough, you'll figure it out. Obviously, I love my seasoning, but I want a little variety, so I got some of this stuff. Butter on the skillet. Smoky in here. Nice. I do actually have a carbon monoxide detector. I did get one of those. Super smoky in here. Holy cow. There's no ventilation in this thing. Maybe I should have done the cooking outside. I don't know. Tube steak. To be fair, the Sika deer steaks are kind of the perfect size for this. Here we go. Good. Sika deer steak, asparagus, mashed potatoes, crab soup. It's actually super cozy in here. Got my little thing, charging my GoPro up. It is super cozy. It's starting to rain again. Just a drizzle, but I don't know where it's gonna, how bad it's gonna get. There you have it. Try the Sika steak. That is good. I'm telling you, for all the pain and suffering to get a cicadeer, that has got to be the best tasting, some of the best tasting meat I've ever had. I mean, by far the best tasting wild game. I'm telling you. I bet people that eat cicadeer would agree with me. That is tender and the most mild, least gamey stuff you've ever had. Extremely good. Tell you what, table, that thing is freaking clutch. And be able to put your feet down in here, sit, that is nice. After being jammed up in this thing all day, that is very nice. Oh my gosh, it's only 6:25. I thought it was so much later. Feels so much later. Dude, I'm the worst. I'm telling you. I'm a crab fisherman. All this stuff with social media, like, dude, phone's popping off all the time. I just don't like messing with my phone. I'm busy doing stuff. Like, look at this. 1,790 unread text messages. And people still get butthurt if I don't text them back. I'm like, dude, I'm sorry. I can't keep up with everybody. I'm trying. I'm kind of not sometimes. You know where I want to be a lot of times? Here, in this boat. We're camping somewhere.
Luke here at the Outdoor Boys YouTube channel, and me and my son Nathan, we've traveled to the Arctic, and for the next 4 days, we're going to be catching enormous crabs through the ice. Welcome to Nome, Alaska.
All right, I'm wrapped up dinner. I'm watching a video proof for a video that by the time you see this will already be out. I'm watching the barter at the crab stand video proof. So cleaned up dinner, well, working on cleaning up dinner, but I'll tell you what, it's a little bit of a conundrum to try to figure out how to move and clean things up when you really can't move out of the spot that you're in. So like everything needs to kind of just be like efficient. So this is definitely a learning trip. I definitely need to bring rags or paper towels or something because that would be really helpful right now. The stove's not so bad. When I got it from Amazon, because the other stove I have is like way too big. It's twice the size of this. I really like it. It's a Coleman, but too big. I was bummed out because that little griddle that sits on top, in the pictures, it shows it being folded up into the thing, but in reality, it doesn't. So I was like, are you kidding me? I bought this one in particular because I saw there was a picture of it folding everything up and you wouldn't have to store anything else. And then once you get it, it's like, oh, just kidding. We just duped you. We're Chinese. What are you gonna send it back, you know? Now I have it and I actually like it. It actually worked out pretty nice. It is a pain to get it back to fold up though. My little solar lights have held up all right so far. And the table's clutch. I mostly just like it because I made it out of trash. All these are pieces of scrap aluminum. I am going to try to lay my bed out now. The only bummer is that I should have, be nice to have the table with the bed. So you could have the bed laid out and then sit here and watch something, but with the table, you know, obviously. It's not the end of the world, but I'm probably gonna set this up here pretty soon. By the way, I bought this. They didn't send it to me. I got that on Amazon. It's way brighter out there than it is in here. That is the only thing about this, is that it kind of sucks, is that there's now no light, no windows, nothing. Because it's still mild, kind of bright out here-ish. I mean, how cool, how peaceful. A little rainy, but so far we're dry. It's definitely tiny. I don't think two people would have a great time in here. Not for the whole time, at least. Isn't it kind of funny? It just looks like a hunting shack. Got the antique doors and everything. It is starting to rain, and just really, really, really hoping that I stay dry. That would be a huge bummer. I just got wet all night. 35-degree weather. Oh, why are my lights flickering again? That's not great. I may need to find a smaller suitcase or a smaller mattress pad or something, because this is really tight. What the heck? I'm telling you, I cooked dinner in here and it's like still hot. Holy crap. This thing is way too freaking big. When it was deflated and in the thing, I was like, oh, this is perfect. I like roughly laid it out. Ah, come on, you joker. Oh, I just broke it. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Love breaking stuff. I have a carbon monoxide detector because I didn't know if I was going to run a heater, and I was like, don't really want to die, and it has a clip, and I just broke the clip because I'm an ape. We'll just throw this thing overboard now, would be great. Although, it ain't so bad. I don't like it. I bet I could still have my table. Actually, seems like it might be kind of comfy. Only trouble is if I have to get up in the middle of the night and like do something with the boat, it's gonna be in the way. Definitely gonna have to get some smaller stuff, but I'll do a little tide check. Looks fine to me. All right, we got a sleeping bag. It kind of makes a really cozy little nest. Oh my gosh, look at that. So nice and warm. Close my little door out here, I think. Got my door shut, little screen open. Look at this. This is cozy. Sound of the rain coming down. For right now, it's not dripping right on my forehead. We will see. Hopefully it stays that way. I don't know. For right now, life is good. This is very nice. It's actually pretty warm in here. This thing's pretty cozy. This is awesome. I'm very happy with my build so far. I'm gonna probably kind of turn in for the night. If anything happens in the middle of the night, I'll let you guys know. Hopefully the tide doesn't go all the way out, and hopefully nothing wild happens. Hopefully we don't get wet. Hopefully I don't die of carbon monoxide poisoning, and hopefully there's enough ventilation, and hopefully the rain doesn't make its way on the other side of this tarp. So I will see you guys in the morning. My mattress is deflated. Other than that, slept pretty well for the most part. It's definitely not warm in here. I can't see my breath, but probably pretty close. I did not get wet, which was amazing. Super awesome. There is a couple damp spots on the inside of the tent though. If you touch it, it's damp. But somehow, some way, it did not drip on me at all last night, so I'll take it. Oh yes, and we have water. Holy cow, there's a lot of water in this boat. It rained a serious amount last night. So I'm really hoping that there's not water in my compartment down there because I could hear trickling throughout the night. It wasn't running into where I was sleeping, which is great, but definitely heard running water. So gonna get some of this stuff packed up. Man, I wish I would have brought coffee. That would be amazing right now. Coffee sounds so good. I definitely need to figure out something to have a little more natural light because it's very dark in here. And that is the beauty of this boat. You can just shove it right off over the mud. Well, as you can see, I do not have much water here, so I think I'm gonna try to get out of here while I still have some water because you can tell the tide is outgoing, so I'm losing water by the minute. So I'm gonna try to shove off and get out here. Maybe I'll try to make breakfast somewhere else, but I do not want to be stuck here for another 12 hours. I'm heating up some of my wife's tortilla soup. Oh wow, that's more than I thought it was. Tortellini soup, actually. I'd kill for some coffee. It is nice and warm. It wasn't that cold of a night. It was not warm, but I've definitely had colder nights and been less equipped, so I think it was good. Stayed dry, that was the #1 thing. And that was a hefty test of the waterproofing because, I mean, it rained like 1.5 inches last night, 2 inches. It was a serious amount of rain. I mean, it downpoured all night long. Somehow, some way, I stayed completely dry. Well, the motor just conked out. Maybe it's out of gas. I don't know. We're out of gas. And I'm glad I brought extra because I almost didn't. I was like, we're not gonna run out of gas. We're out of gas. Luckily, we have our pee jug. It's electrolytes. It's what your boat craves. Please start. Sweet. I'll tell you what, this little camper boat breaks more necks than a 5-engine Midnight Express. People are just like, what the heck is that thing? It must look so silly. Funny thing is, I'm the only one that'll run it. Everybody else is scared to run it because it's tippy, so I don't even really know what it looks like from outside the water. I have to review some footage. I love it though. I think it's awesome. And I paid $800 for the boat, and I spent like $60 at Home Depot, plus $60 on tarps, $120. And then all the other stuff was all salvaged, like the doors, all the hardware. The T111 is off of my neighbor's brother's shed. All the aluminum stripping is salvaged. Oh, I bought the bracket for $80. Oh, and I bought caulk and mineral spirits. So let's say I have 1,100 bucks in material between buying the boat and the material to build it, and it took me about a week, but it wasn't a week of working on it straight. It was like I worked on it on and off for a week, 4 hours here. I paid 700 bucks for the motor. For 1,800 bucks, you could call it 2 grand with, I don't know, considering maybe some stuff I forgot to buy. 2,000 bucks, have yourself a camper boat, pretty sweet. My opinion. I'm gonna say this thing, success. Definitely some things I'd like to improve. I wouldn't argue with a little more stability. It's a little wobbly, not gonna lie. Any kind of chop, waves, weather definitely would sketch me out. It did keep me dry and relatively warm. Heat would be nice, but that's gonna be a hard problem to solve, to be honest. All in all, I think it's awesome. Worked out really nicely, especially for what it is. So we're almost back.
So here comes Luke back from his adventure. We'll see if he is hypothermic and soaking wet. It was this pouring rain last night, and we'll see whether his little boat camper kept him dry or not. We shall see. Looks like he's still mobile, engine's still running. Here he comes. How'd you make out?
Good.
Are you hypothermic or are you fine?
No, I'm fine. It really wasn't that bad. I
I mean, it was a pouring rain last night.
oh, I know.
You stayed dry in that thing?
100% dry.
Really?
It didn't leak a single drop inside. I have a thermometer in here. It stayed about 10 degrees warmer inside the tent than it did outside. Boat's on the trailer. We're back at the dock. Thanks for watching. Check out goodiesyused.com. See you next Friday. Also, drop a comment. Let me know where you want to see me take this thing next. I got some ideas.